Hey guys, today we're going to continue our unit on measuring by measuring length. Measuring length can be used in a lot of different jobs. If you're working in a pet store or working in a vet clinic, they may ask you to measure the length and the width of a piece of paper to go in the bottom of a kennel. If you're working in planning parties, you might be asked to measure the length of of a piece of ribbon or a piece of string. If you're working quality control in a factory, you may be asked to measure the length of objects coming off the line just to make sure they're all the same length. So, measuring length is important for a lot of different jobs, and there's a lot of ways to measure length. One of the ways, just as we talked about, would be working in a factory. And working in a factory, maybe they would give you a jig, kind of like this, and you would have to measure you by putting the thing that they're making on the jig like that, and just making sure it's the right size. And if it's the right size, then you move it, you put it in the box, or you move it to the next station. But if it's the wrong size, like this one, it doesn't go all the way to the end, then you'd have to discard this one or give it back to the person that's making them. So that's one way to measure length is with a jig. Other ways are using a tape measure. It's got the numbers on it, or using a ruler that has numbers on it. We're going to get to those in a little bit. There's another way that we're going to practice measuring length, and that's just by using paper clips. These paper clips are going to act as our units. Every type of measurement has a unit, just as we worked with cups earlier had a unit, tablespoons had a unit. In measuring, there's units that are inches or centimeters. And today, we're going to use a unit that is just a paper clip. This is just to get us started to identify how long something is. It doesn't matter what the unit is right now. So I'm going to give you guys an example, and then I want you to go around your room, around your classroom, and measure different objects. Measure books, measure chairs, measure desks. Whatever you think is kind of fun to measure, I want you to measure different things because it's all the same. You're just learning how to measure things in different units. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to see how many paper clips this paper is wide. So we're going to put this at the end. There's one. There's two. And there's three. So if you can see, this paper is 3 paper clips wide. You can do this with anything you guys want to measure. It's kind of fun, okay? We can measure it the other way if we want. We can measure the length of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this piece of paper is 3 paper clips by 5 paper clips. Okay? What's kind of neat here, and I chose this on purpose, each one of these paper clips is an inch. Okay? So after you get done measuring all the different items in your classroom with all the paper clips that I have in this, you can use them all. You can figure out how many paper clips long a table is. And that is actually exactly how many inches it is long. When we look at a ruler, its units are inches. Okay? And one paper clip is 1 inch. There are 12 inches on this. If we put 12 paper clips along this, it would be 12 inches. It'd be 12 paper clips. Okay? So units are just a form that we all understand. It's not a big deal. But I want you guys to practice measuring, and this is kind of a complicated thing. but I want you guys to practice measuring how many paper clips long something is, or how many paper clips wide something is. And then I want us to be able to go back and start using this ruler. If something is 3 paper clips wide, put the ruler up to it, put it on the end, just like our piece of paper that we said was 3 paper clips wide. This piece of paper is also 3 inches wide. We said it was 5 paper clips long. It's also 5 inches long. Okay? This is just a concept I want us to understand, because at some time in our job we might be asked to measure stuff. So let's practice by measuring things with paper clips, measuring things with rulers, or if we feel brave, we'll start measuring things with a tape measure that's exactly like the ruler and exactly like the paper clips. They're exactly 1 inch long. Okay? So practice this, get good at it. I'm also going to give you guys a box with a bunch of different stuff in it. There's CDs, there's another ruler, there's flashlight, there's a calculator, there's a highlighter, there's all sorts of stuff in here to measure. As you guys are measuring it, you have this piece of paper that you can write down what the different stuff is that you're measuring. Okay, how long it is, what the length is, how many paper clips it is, or how many inches it is. It's going to be the same thing. It's going to be the same unit. So practice it, guys. Learn how to do it. It's kind of fun whenever you start doing it. It's kind of fun to walk around the room and measure different stuff. Measure it with paper clips, measure it with tape measures, measure it with rulers. Just practice it and have fun with it, because someday you're going to have to use it. All right, you guys have a good day. I'll talk to you soon.